The $14 million mansion, perched in the California hills, stands as a powerful symbol of triumph for Chief Keef right now. Picture this incredible estate, with its elegant fountain gracefully flowing in the front yard, a sleek Lamborghini gleaming in the driveway, a fully equipped recording studio waiting just down the hall, and breathtaking mountain views stretching out from the back. This is the same young man who, just over a decade ago, found himself on house arrest in his grandmother's modest living room back in Chicago, with no record label support, no real budget, and seemingly nowhere to turn. The rise from those humble and challenging beginnings to this level of success does not get any more dramatic or inspiring than Chief Keef's journey. Keith Farrell Cozart, born on August 15, 1995, on the south side of Chicago, Illinois, grew up immersed in the Parkway Garden Homes, a tough public housing complex that the streets eventually renamed O Block due to its intense reputation. There was no silver spoon waiting for him, no influential connections, and no safety net to fall back on. Just his devoted grandmother, Margaret Carter, working hard as a school bus driver to raise him, along with an old karaoke machine left behind by his mom, and an undeniable natural talent for rapping that emerged long before he fully understood its potential. He was only 5 years old the first time he recorded himself spitting bars, borrowing blank tapes from neighbors, just so he could hear his own voice played back and critique it like a true artist in the making. His biological father was largely absent from his life, making his grandmother everything to him, a pillar of strength and love that Chief Keef has openly acknowledged in public. In one heartfelt Instagram post after her passing, he reflected on hoping he had given her something to brag about, a statement that reveals the deep gratitude and humility underneath all the flashy success and larger-than-life persona. Growing up in O Block meant the streets were constantly calling, pulling at him with their dangers and temptations, and by his early teens, he was already encountering legal troubles and drawing serious attention from law enforcement officials. At just 16 years old, he ended up on house arrest at his grandmother's home following an incident with police, confined legally to that house in one of the most perilous zip codes in the country. No studio time, no label backing, no financial resources, nothing but a determined teenager restricted to those four walls. In that kind of situation, many young people might have given up, stayed silent, and simply waited for the restrictions to lift. But not Keith. He transformed that very house into his personal studio, turning limitations into fuel for creativity. He filmed his now iconic music video for I Don't Like right there in the living room, with no fancy set design, no expensive wardrobe, and no professional director calling the shots. It was just him and his crew dancing and rapping authentically in front of a basic camera, because the song captured something too genuine and raw to hold back. The video looked exactly like the reality it came from, a kid from the hood pouring his heart into his passion with whatever resources he could scrape together. That unfiltered authenticity and street-level energy is precisely what made the internet explode with excitement. I Don't Like first took over the clubs in Chicago, then spread rapidly from block to block, high school to high school, and eventually city to city across the map. The drill sound, with its dark and heavy beats crafted by producer Young Chop, the deadpan delivery, and the deeply coded street lyrics, felt completely fresh and unlike anything mainstream hip-hop had experienced before. Listeners could not look away or stop playing it on repeat. Then Kanye West, another Chicago legend, caught wind of it and instantly recognized its power. Kanye understood that this was not merely a hot track, but a brand new generational sound that could reshape the game. He took action by remixing the song himself, bringing in Big Sean, Pusha T, and Jadakiss to elevate it further, and released it to the world. Reports from that explosive period describe how Chief Keef rocketed out of obscurity almost overnight. One moment he was a 16-year-old under house arrest in O Block, and the next, every major label in the industry was competing fiercely for his signature. Young Jeezy's CTE World showed strong interest. Def Jam was reaching out. Atlantic Records wanted in, creating a full-blown bidding war over a teenager who could not even legally leave his neighborhood. Chief Keef and his team played it smart, waiting patiently as the offers grew bigger and more impressive. When the time came to decide, they chose Interscope Records, one of the most influential labels globally, for a massive deal reportedly worth $6 million across 3 albums, plus an additional $440,000 advance to help him launch his own label imprint, Glory Boys Entertainment. $6 million for a 16-year-old from O Block, Chicago. Let that reality truly sink in for a moment. This was a kid who had been shooting music videos under house arrest in his grandmother's living room just months earlier, because he had no other options available. And now he was inking a multi-million-dollar contract that would have felt like an impossible dream to anyone familiar with his origins. His debut album, Finally Rich, dropped in December 2012, featuring hits like Love Sosa, Hate Being Sober, and other standout tracks that captured the raw essence of his world. The project climbed into the top 30 on the Billboard 200, introducing the world to the name Chief Keef and officially propelling the drill movement from Chicago's streets onto the global stage. The money started flowing in meaningful ways, and the first thing he did was invest in properties and begin living out the future he had always visualized for himself. The come-up was real and accelerating rapidly, but what he has constructed since then dwarfs those early achievements in scale and vision. The true Chief Keef empire narrative truly takes shape the moment he boarded that plane heading west. Chicago provided the explosive come-up, but California became the foundation for his lasting empire, and the contrast between those two phases represents everything about growth, adaptation, and relentless ambition. Now, shifting focus to that pivotal California move reveals some of the most compelling chapters in his story. One of the initial big purchases with his Interscope earnings was renting a spacious 6,000-square-foot mansion in Highland Park, Illinois, a suburb near Chicago boasting 6 bedrooms, a home theater, and stunning views of Lake Michigan. For a teenager who had spent his formative years in public housing, roaming around such a grand palace must have felt utterly surreal, like stepping into a completely different universe. Going to bed each night in a house that enormous after being confined under house arrest not long before would have been mind-blowing. Yet that Highland Park period ended abruptly. By 2014, he fell behind on rent by around $30,000, leading to eviction notices. Many in that position might retreat quietly, feeling embarrassed and regrouping privately, but not Chief Keef. He took to Instagram right away, posting the bold words, "Sky is the limit," then announced his relocation to California without hesitation or excuses. That unapologetic confidence defined the rebrand in real time, executed with the same fearless attitude he applied to everything. He packed up and headed to Los Angeles, one of the priciest real estate markets anywhere, and began rebuilding in the San Fernando Valley, focusing on the Woodland Hills and Tarzana area. That corridor represents an entirely different world from Chicago's South Side, filled with gated driveways, serene mountain views, peaceful streets, and celebrity neighbors. It is the type of neighborhood where privacy reigns supreme and property values are fiercely protected. For Chief Keef, emerging from years of legal challenges, evictions, and street entanglements, this environment offered the perfect space to focus, lock in creatively, and construct something enduring on his own terms. The Woodland Hills mansion stands as the crown jewel of his California holdings, more than just a house, but a full compound and a bold declaration of arrival. Valued at up to $14 million, this estate towers above the average American home, which sits around $400,000, making his property equivalent to 35 of those combined. Tucked into one of Los Angeles's most exclusive pockets, it requires gate codes for access, emphasizing privacy as the ultimate luxury. The residence spans over 5,000 square feet of living space, featuring 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, Mediterranean-style architecture with beautiful stucco exteriors, a striking red tile roof, and a commanding gated entrance that signals this is no ordinary home but a true estate built for legacy. Entering through the front gate, visitors are immediately greeted by the expansive front yard centered around a majestic working fountain, a detail that carries profound symbolism for a man who rose from public housing projects. That first drive up to claim ownership must have evoked emotions deeper than words can capture. Inside, the living room commands attention with its soaring cavernous ceilings, a warm real fireplace, an enormous television setup, and thoughtfully selected furniture that reflects refined taste and substantial investment. Clean white walls and an open, airy layout allow the space to breathe with quiet opulence. The kitchen impresses with granite countertops, high-end stainless steel appliances, a convenient breakfast bar, and a walk-in pantry large enough to sustain extended stays. Whether utilizing a private chef or keeping things casual with deliveries, The setup supports any lifestyle choice seamlessly. What truly distinguishes this property from standard luxury homes is the custom integrations Chief Keef incorporated for his craft and personal enjoyment. A professional-grade home recording studio occupies a dedicated space, far more than a simple setup but a fully functional environment where ideas can be captured instantly at any hour. For an artist known for prolific output, releasing multiple projects yearly, this studio eliminates external costs, scheduling conflicts, and distractions, serving as a smart business investment that has undoubtedly generated returns many times over through uninterrupted creativity. Beyond music, the home boasts an impressive arcade room filled with a diverse collection of vintage and modern machines, creating a dreamlike playground that contrasts sharply with his childhood scarcity. There is also a dedicated home theater for immersive viewing experiences, additional game rooms for entertainment, a sophisticated wine cellar, and a relaxing sauna for unwinding after intense sessions. The backyard extends generously, complete with a sparkling swimming pool, jacuzzi, spacious patio seating, a fire pit for gatherings, and even a basketball court framed by those iconic California mountain vistas. That outdoor area alone surpasses the size of many urban apartments, offering a private paradise where summer days unfold with music, laughter, and nature's backdrop. The contrast hits powerfully because Chief Keef has never forgotten his roots in O-Block, but he has deliberately forged a path that ensures he never has to return to that environment. Security became a heightened priority following a serious 2018 incident at his Tarzana residence where intruders attempted a break-in while he was present. One suspect even fired at responding officers, though fortunately no one was injured. That event prompted comprehensive security enhancements across all his California properties, reinforcing his commitment to protecting the peace he worked so hard to achieve. The Woodland Hills and Tarzana corridor has become his established territory, a stable base from which his operations flourish. The garage tells another compelling chapter of his success, housing a fleet of extraordinary vehicles that represent both personal passion and brand extension. The Lamborghini Urus stands out prominently, especially after Chief Keef commissioned a fully custom Scooby-Doo-themed version in 2023 that captivated social media with its playful yet luxurious wrap and interior details. Based on a roughly $400,000 Italian performance SUV capable of accelerating from 0 to 60 in just 3.5 seconds, with over 650 horsepower, this personalized creation turned heads globally and generated massive organic buzz. Then comes the Lamborghini SVJ, a track-oriented supercar powered by a naturally aspirated V12 engine, delivering 759 horsepower, reaching top speeds of 217 miles per hour. With only 900 coupe versions produced worldwide and a retail price near $580,000, owning one underscores his elite status. The Rolls-Royce Cullinan adds supreme luxury to the mix as the brand's flagship SUV. Starting around $350,000 and customizable to exceed $500,000, featuring hand-stitched leather, fine wood accents, and unparalleled cabin silence that isolates occupants from the outside world. It is the vehicle for making statements without uttering a single word. Complementing these is the Ferrari SF90, a cutting-edge plug-in hybrid hypercar combining 986 horsepower from a twin-turbo V8 and electric motors, achieving 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds and surpassing 200 miles per hour. Priced from around $520,000, it represents technological mastery on the road. Additional standouts include the Mercedes-Benz AMG G63 with its boxy design, 577 horsepower, and celebrity appeal starting near $160,000. Plus the Dodge Challenger Hellcat Red-Eye unleashing 797 horsepower of raw American muscle. Earlier in his career, the collection featured a Ferrari 458 Spider, several Bentleys including a Mulsanne, Continental, and Roadster, an Audi Q7, and a BMW i8, some of which evolved as preferences shifted. At any time, the garage holds millions in high-performance machinery. These cars extend beyond mere displays of wealth. They embody Chief Keef's brand identity, turning every sighting into content that reinforces his cultural presence and silences doubters. Pulling up in a $580,000 SVJ after borrowing tapes as a child transforms flex into testimony. a tangible proof of a journey few believed possible. Financially, Chief Keef's estimated net worth hovers around $4 million as of recent years, though figures fluctuate due to legal matters, child support responsibilities, and the independent nature of his career. What remains consistent is the robust infrastructure supporting it all. He commands between $40,000 and $85,000 per show, allowing busy touring months to generate hundreds of thousands quickly. At the lower end, 10 performances yield $400,000 simply from doing what he has loved since childhood. Feature verses bring even larger sums, reportedly around $150,000 each, reflecting the street credibility and cultural weight his contributions add to any track. Artists seek him out because his voice delivers authenticity that transcends trends. On the business front, he oversees Glow Gang, which expanded from a music collective into a thriving clothing brand with dedicated fans purchasing merchandise worldwide. His independent label, 43 Billion, grants full ownership of his music, bypassing traditional label dependencies and ensuring direct revenue flow. Streaming royalties from timeless hits like Love Sosa, I Don't Like, Finetto, and others pour in monthly, creating reliable passive income from hundreds of millions of plays across gyms, cars, and parties globally more than a decade later. Sponsorships contribute additional six-figure deals, capitalizing on his influence as one of hip-hop's most sampled and referenced figures. Maintaining this lifestyle involves substantial costs that many overlook. Property taxes on a $14 million Los Angeles estate accumulate significantly each year. Heightened security measures, essential after past incidents, represent a necessary investment in safety. Utilities for a 5,000-plus square foot home with pool, jacuzzi, gym, studio, and arcade running constantly add up monthly. Landscaping, staffing, maintenance, and repairs demanding climate. The exotic car collection incurs specialized servicing expenses far beyond standard garages. With dealer schedules and wear from spirited driving on Los Angeles roads factoring in prominently. Supporting 9 children brings documented child support obligations that have influenced net worth variations, yet he balances family responsibilities alongside his empire. Despite these outflows, diversified revenue from touring, streaming, merchandise, features, and partnerships creates a resilient engine. Real estate appreciation strengthens the foundation, with the Woodland Hills property rising notably from its acquisition value toward higher estimates, building generational wealth through smart ownership rather than fleeting spending. Jewelry further illustrates his journey, with custom chains, pendants featuring Glow Gang motifs, and iced-out wrist pieces valued in the tens of thousands, each item marking milestones and serving as wearable history. In hip-hop culture, these collections chronicle success stories. Chief Keef remains actively creative, dropping projects like Almighty So in 2024 that prove his engine runs strong well into his 30s. His influence permeates modern rap, with younger artists citing his cadence, delivery, attitude, and independent ethos as foundational. Glow Gang evolved into a cultural movement inspiring tattoos, crew names, and a worldview embraced across scenes. This intangible equity amplifies financial gains, turning name recognition into sustained power. At 30 years old, having started rapping at 5 and exploding at 16, Chief Keef has navigated major label deals, evictions, legal battles, public scrutiny, and personal challenges while consistently releasing music and expanding his footprint. That resilience under pressure stands rare in the industry and explains why his empire endures and grows. The California chapter provided stability and expansion that Chicago's intensity could not match, allowing roots to deepen in real estate, business, and lifestyle. His properties appreciate, the garage showcases ambition, the catalog pays dividends effortlessly, the label operates under his control, the clothing line connects globally, tours deliver consistent income, and his legacy remains untouchable. This structure stands independently, not reliant on fleeting hype but built brick by brick through talent, authenticity, and vision. Chief Keef exemplifies how raw skill and genuine street perspective can propel someone from borrowing blank tapes in O'Block to commanding $14 million in California real estate before 30. He crafted his own doors when none opened, offering a blueprint for generations from overlooked places. The system need not grant entry if determination drives self-made success. From house arrest videos to hilltop estates with Lamborghinis, Rolls-Royces, and Ferraris, running an independent label while raising a large family and sustaining an enviable lifestyle. He achieved it all young enough that peers were still navigating basic milestones. This is not ordinary. It defines Chief Keef. His story resonates because it transcends music, embodying perseverance, evolution, and empire building against odds. Drill's global impact traces directly to his early innovations, influencing production styles, lyric approaches, and attitudes that younger talents emulate today. Collaborations and references keep his name vital, while business acumen ensures longevity beyond trends. In Woodland Hills, the quiet luxury, creative freedom, and family focus create balance after chaotic early years. He continues dropping music that captures evolving perspectives, maintaining relevance through authenticity rather than chasing charts. The empire's future looks expansive, with potential for further real estate ventures, label signings, merchandise lines, and perhaps media expansions that leverage his cultural cachet. Challenges like industry shifts or personal responsibilities persist, but his track record suggests adaptive strategies will prevail. Supporters see not just wealth, but inspiration, proof that origins do not dictate destinations when hustle meets opportunity. Expanding on the cars, each machine in the collection carries unique significance. The Urus custom job blended childhood nostalgia with adult success, making it more than transportation but a rolling conversation starter that humanizes the superstar. The SVJ appeals to his performance-driven side, perfect for those moments craving speed and precision on open roads. The Cullinan offers regal comfort for family outings or low-key cruising, prioritizing serenity amid fame's demands. The SF90 represents innovation, mirroring his forward-thinking approach to music and business. Together, they form a versatile arsenal matching every mood and necessity. Maintenance rituals, from detailing sessions to performance checks, become part of the routine that sustains the image. Similarly, the mansion's amenities foster creativity and relaxation, turning the property into a self-contained world where ideas flourish without external barriers. The studio's isolation allows late-night sessions that birth hits, while the arcade and theater provide outlets for downtime, preventing burnout in a high-pressure career. Financial management involves strategic decisions, balancing high earnings with calculated spending to preserve capital. Investments in property yield long-term gains as Los Angeles markets appreciate, while owning masters maximizes streaming returns in the digital era. Child support, though demanding, reflects commitment to family, adding layers of responsibility that ground the success. Public perception often focuses on the glamour, yet behind it lies disciplined execution, team coordination, and constant adaptation to legal and industry landscapes. His independence post-Interscope allowed creative freedom that major deals sometimes constrain, enabling risk-taking that paid off in loyal fan engagement. Glow Gang merchandise taps into that community, turning supporters into brand ambassadors who wear the movement proudly. Streaming data reveals sustained popularity, with playlists and algorithms keeping classics alive for new listeners discovering Drill's origins. Reflecting deeper on early influences, the grandmother's role extended beyond caregiving to instilling values of resilience and self-expression that fueled his drive. The karaoke machine sparked initial experiments, evolving into serious recording habits despite environmental hardships. House arrest became a crucible, forcing focus that polished his skills faster than unstructured freedom might have. The I Don't Like Video's DIY aesthetic captured a moment that resonated universally because it felt unmanufactured, inspiring countless artists to prioritize realness over polish. Kanye's remix validated the sound, bridging underground streets with mainstream platforms and accelerating Keef's trajectory. Bidding wars highlighted industry recognition of his potential, yet choosing Interscope strategically positioned him for resources while retaining vision. Post-deal challenges tested maturity, but relocation to California marked a deliberate pivot toward professionalism and stability. In the hills, daily life blends routine with inspiration, from morning views fueling lyrics to evening studio time capturing them. Neighbors in the upscale area respect boundaries, allowing low-profile living despite fame. Security protocols evolved into sophisticated systems ensuring safety without sacrificing enjoyment. Community impact extends through music's empowerment message, showing youth from similar backgrounds that paths exist beyond streets. Philanthropic undertones appear in supporting family and creating opportunities via the label. As Dos Mil Veinte 13 transitions onward, Chief Keef's 30th year brings reflection on accomplishments alongside future ambitions. New projects, potential tours, and business expansions promise continued growth. His story encourages not imitation but belief in personal blueprints, proving authenticity wins when paired with execution. The California Empire, rooted in Chicago grit, stands as testament to transformation possible through talent, tenacity, and time. Mountains in the background symbolize heights scaled, with the city below representing conquered challenges and endless possibilities ahead. This narrative continues unfolding, brick by bar, stream by stream, inspiring waves of creators who see in him a mirror of their potential realized.